Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about the Two of Cups today. And this is a really nice change, I think, from the last video, the Knight of Swords, which I found a difficult video to make in the end because it was about army dreamers and about war and conflict. And this is kind of the opposite. This is about connection, being open, openness, harmony, peace. And I mean, I'll quickly go through these cards just because they're so beautiful. This is the Thoth, simply called love, and you have these two fish entwined. But I think what I get a sense of is that the sunlight on the water, that feeling of calm and acceptance that is there. And here we have from the Next World Tarot, and this, how relaxed they are together. And that is that's the character of this card, that is the mood of this card. It's those days when, we're okay with the world and very receptive to things. And I love too this Osho card, and friendliness. I like this because although this card can be associated with romance, sorry, I keep moving these out of the way, don't I? Although this can be associated with romance, it doesn't need to be. It is about an attitude more, and it's also at the beginning. So it's only a 2, so we're at the beginning of our journey. So it's maybe at the beginning of a relationship or beginning of getting to know someone, and that could be romantic or it could be platonic. It could be any sort of relationship, really. And it could also be a relationship with nature or something we love. And I think the Kate Bush song I've chosen for this is a good example of that. I mean, briefly, this has so many positive connotations. It's quite hard to think of what the shadow side would be, or what you'd have to be careful of to think with this card. But I think all cards have, the positive and then maybe the more sort of difficult, the more shadow side to them. I think with this, it's maybe when we've got anything to do with emotions, I suppose it's getting carried away with our emotions, isn't it? Lacking maybe that detachment that we need, rushing in. Ideally, this should be one of equality, and we get a sense of that in the balance because both sides are equal. So there would be, in a relationship especially, something to ask about that. Are both people being as open with each other? Is there that equality there, or is there a power imbalance? So those would be the sort of things you would think of. But, like in its highest state, its highest expression, this is a beautiful energy and a beautiful card. So what Kate Bush song have I chosen? So this has, the song I've chosen has got loads of sort of watery energy. It definitely had to be a Cups card, I think. And it's from the Kicking Side, so that's another clue. And I suppose when I first heard this song, I did actually think it was a romantic song when I listened to this as a teenager. And now I know it's not romantic. It's actually based on Kate Bush's relationship with her dance teacher, Lindsay Kemp. And this was, I'll link a video. There's a really nice video of Lindsay Kemp talking about a little bit about Kate Bush, and actually probably mainly about David Bowie. It's not a very long video, but I will link it. And he says, there's a really nice moment in here where he says he seems to, so Kate Bush went to his classes, and that's how she learned her dance. She wasn't a classically trained dancer at all. And I get the impression she was sort of nervous, very keen to dance, but because she hadn't had that formal training, very kind of worried, I suppose, about not being taken seriously with her dance. And she'd seen Lindsay Kemp perform, felt really inspired by him, and also, you know, one of Kate Bush's inspirations was David Bowie as well. So there was that connection there too. And you get the impression of her being at the back of the class. Lindsay Kemp talks about having to, you know, encourage her to go forward, being a little shy maybe. And I think she's probably just so in awe and so excited about this new way of moving and expressing herself. And he didn't even know that she was a singer until she posts the Kick Inside, you know, he gets the album posted under his door and realises it's dedicated to him. This beautiful song is dedicated to him. And I love that. I also love that she was also, even at that point, maybe a little bit too shy to tell him to his face that she had to post the album under his door. And then later, of course, this picture is from much later. It was from the video they did for the Red Shoes. The line, the curve, crossing the curve. All right, I can't remember. My mind's gone blank. But yeah, so it was. I'll put a link to that as well, maybe. And you know, they're both. There's more of an equality now, isn't there? Rather than him being the mentor, they're both famous in their own right. So there's been a development in the relationship, and I love the way they're looking at each other. And there's that openness that I was talking about with that energy with this card. And the part of the lyric I've chosen is, as long as you're not afraid to feel, because we're in cups, this is all about emotions and feelings. And what might hold us back? What might hold us back from these lovely relationships and these kind of feeling of connection is when we're guarded, is when we're trying to protect ourselves, is when we don't trust, and you know, what we miss out on, maybe because we do hold back sometimes. Lindsay Kemp, I think, he was born 1938, and his last public performance, amazingly, was when he was 80 in 2018 in June. And then he died a couple of months later. So he was performing all his life. If you haven't seen him speak, I would strongly recommend you just see the short video to get a sense of his personality. And I think you can see what inspired Kate Bush. There's something very accepting about him, and his openness again, which of course you can then see in his mime too. So yeah, I enjoyed talking about this card. I enjoyed making the sort of swirly kind of blue watery background, which I've done a lot for a lot of the cups now, but it's always really enjoyable to do. So I'm sure there's lots of other Two of Cups possibilities. So if you can think of any, please put them down in the comments. And thanks as always for watching. Goodbye.